So I will introduce to you some research and findings of ours in the context of project Erasmus Plus project that we have started last year. And this is one of the first presentation that we have, one of the first research that we have done. So that's the logo of the TISUS project, and now I will introduce to you my topics for today, and I will start with some introduction, the project presentation. Please consider it also for the dissemination action of ours. You are very familiar with this kind of activities during the Erasmus Plus projects, and then some research results and debates with methodological aspects and the research impact, and some conclusions. So our objective is, during this research of ours, is how the dilemma to solve or to find out some issues regarding the dilemma how the education process should inform and train learners to approach and solve the sustainable development questions embedded in political and ethical interpretation. This was the first question that we address in our consortium also, international consortium, and it was basically suggested by the main objective. You are very familiar with this picture, even if it's a line or a square or a circle, everybody knows what the sustainable development goals are. So I have to introduce you first in the topic of education for sustainable development. I know for definitely that there are a lot of projects ongoing, or you are thinking of project idea related to education for sustainable development. The topic is a hot one, and it addresses different target group. In our case, we try to develop some support, training, education support for the teachers of the pre-university stage in order to introduce the topics of sustainable development in their lessons. So not just in the curricula, it should be accompanied with some approvals and some reforma or something, but also it is suggested by our approach that we can change or improve the content of the lessons with the kids, with the children, with the pupils, even basically started from this phenomena that it's very well described already in the literature. I have picked up only some issues, some aspects from the beginning, maybe 2008, and I have picked out several aspects regarding of the topic, of the description of the concept, and the first issue is regarding of what kind of topics are adequate to these lessons. So it should be address some topics regarding the new energetic paradigm, and we have seen from the first and second, from the first day of the conference, that a lot of people are concerned with the energy consumption or the impact on the environment and so on, resource efficiency and cleaner production, for example. And also, for my opinion, this one is very important, the second one here, the new consumption standards. We try, and we have a movement, interesting movement, in our discourse, even with our students, and in the framework of the project regarding the sufficiency, not only the efficiency, but in terms of consumption, in terms of sufficiency. The behavior of the consumption of the consumers is a very interesting topic, and different specialists from different fields have a lot of input in this direction also, in our case, in our team. And the last one is, as I have mentioned, previous uses of renewable resource energy, green energy, and how we implement, how we use it, and which could be the effect in terms of impact, environmental impact. What is most interesting, I find out in literature that in different level of education, we can address topics in different manner, and according to the literature, we can be much more focused on specifics. For example, at the university level here, the third level of education, we can, trainees need to produce new knowledge and to research, to do research that aim at looking for a new development paradigm. But in the context of the research of our project also, we address this area, the secondary school, school and children, teacher, trainers from there, which need to discuss and learn about biodiversity, environmental conservation, alternatives of energy and global warming. Take a look also in the last, the primary school for the little kids, how can we educate sustainability at this level? And they have to do and to make a lot of experience with nature, and seek for more talking. They need to know the plants, animals, their habit, and to reduce, reuse, recycling, about recycling materials, how to keep the ecosystem attracting, and so on. So I will introduce now the project, because probably it will be much more interesting in the context of the conference debate. And it has been approved last year, as I have mentioned. It's a 2018 Erasmus Plus dedicated to the Key Action 2. And we implement the project with the support of the national agency in Romania. But the partners, as you see, are colleagues of ours from the West University of Timișoara, Romania. We are also a Polytechnica University. I belong to this entity, so 2 universities, and the rest are companies working in the field of training, teaching, and so on, consulting. The strategic partner, or the core partner, is Denstadt, Romania, which as previous, it was the leader of the project, so-called LITSUS, so Leadership for Sustainability. And we have also partners from Hungary, from Slovenia, and from Portugal. Some pictures of ours, it's a must when you speak about what you are doing. Some presentation you probably are familiar with the objective, intellectual output, multiple events, learning, teaching activities. I will pass quickly. The main objective is to create a common non-formal education structure for sustainability, so a program, a training program for teachers of pre-university, at the pre-university level, in order to support them to introduce the topics in their courses, classes, and so on. These are the specific objectives. I have described them in the paper also. But what is important for the research that has been done, first of all, we have made an inventory of new training methods and systems, new training methodologies for the education in the field of sustainable development. Then we have assessed the training needs in a sample belonging to each country from groups from different countries. And we are now in the position to develop the training materials by using the structure, the predefined structure in the international partnership about, so we call the structure of the training, the teacher's skill card. And also we want to develop, and we started to build up a stakeholder group attached to this so-called Sustainability Excellence Center. Finally, we will have this kind of results and output that will be in the end of the project, that will be end of November next year. About some the analysis, most of you probably you have developed something like this. In our case, we use a survey based on the questionnaire. The questionnaire has been developed in the International Partnership Consortium, using the input and the review of the literature in the field of what kind of methodologies, which is the most adequate methodology based on the experiences of other researchers or implementers that find in the literature. So our group was, our sample was divided in 2 parts, may I say so. those people that were, that subject that were therefore definitely involved in the pre-university system, but also future professors, future trainers in the pre-university system that were master students in the West University. And we have a lot of workshops and discuss with them. We developed the questionnaire, and we send the questionnaire via the TeachSUS webpage and on Facebook and email. We invite in each country a group of subjects to respond to the questionnaire. Yes, here are the research. These are the. I will focus on this one because the conclusions are related to this table of results. So we have developed 9 questions precisely, and we rank the questions with the Likert scale. If you have noticed here, there is a very strong need related to all the elements. And because we have an open question also, you see here what kind of knowledge are missing. To nominate, we ask the respondent to nominate exactly. We have generated a sort of cloud, words cloud, in order to visualize. It is suggestive and not suggestive, but it's given us some issues about a hot topic which could be lifestyle, for example, or change or efficiency, as I have mentioned previous. So this is a very important conclusion. Also, that we ask finally how should be the pedagogical process developed, which are the elements that can better support this kind of training. And according to the response of this sample, limited, yes, theoretical knowledge combined with best practice examples, multimedia and gamification, we have been suggested by our partners to do it, plus coaching and tutoring should be the best issue, should be the best solution. So it's a combination of tools from the pedagogical point of view. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Please, questions? Maybe I try to open it. Do you consider to organize also, a kind of pilot?
Yeah. So we are now in the position that we have an inventory of methods and some lessons plan. Yes. Lessons plan dedicated to different subjects. And after this, the training materials are almost ready in English, refined and corrected, developed in English. Then, in the end of March, we will have the first pilot with a group of professors from Portugal in Porto. So this will be the first, together with the partners, with the presence of the partners who develop the training materials.
So the pilot project will be only in one country?
Oh no, this will be the pilot session of checking the correctness or the adaptability of the training materials to this group. Because if I make the pilot training even in Romania or in Slovenia or in Hungary, the issues, the environmental issues, the specifics will be different. So this will be the pilot training for the group, for the first group in Portugal. Which kind of pilot?
My question was, you want to develop training materials. And
we must develop training materials. Yes,
and you will probably test it. And so my question was whether in each of the countries you will have a test group where you will somehow test your materials and maybe evaluate the knowledge and maybe attitudes of your students in the beginning and then afterwards, or something like this.
Of the trainees, yes. The training materials will be available online. So the test of the materials in each country with different kind of professors, future professors also, will be done online. We have no money for this. I have no time to show you how much they cut, because it could be an interesting issue when you propose a project in the Erasmus framework. It's a habit in Romania with the national agency in Romania, but doesn't matter this issue. So we have just prepared the platform, the online platform under the Moodle system, and it will be available in 4 languages also, English, Romanian, Portuguese, and Slovenian, Hungarian, 5 languages, yes.
5 languages.
Yeah, and it will be dedicated to professors that want to introduce topics of sustainable development in their classes. So we make a study. For example, I have developed the water management. I can give you an example. And I prepare 4 lessons about water management for small kids, planning everything with some experimental and some experiential lessons. So you can take small kids outside, it's allowed. You have a period dedicated in the Romanian system of education. Yes, you have a period and you can take kids outside to make the lesson and the transfer of knowledge in the real environment. So for example, water management could be taught in mathematics because you have some calculation, for example, in quality and quantity of consumption and so on. You can do it in chemistry, you can do it in biology, you can do it in ethics and civil education very well. Environment, it's possible, biology, yes. And
so this will be also part of your outputs, recommendations,
yes,
where to use the knowledge.
All the time we encourage the partners, and the partners push us, so it was a pushy process between the partners to discover in each area in the region of ours some outdoor laboratories, may I say so. So some museum, the Company of Water in my case, where they have a campus and some facilities for training, for playing. Outside and indoor activities are also supported there. And they have such a club that is so-called Aqua Peak. Peak in Romania means drop. So aqua drop, something like that.
Okay, any questions?
Only very short.
Yeah.
Okay, the number of answers for a question was 111?
Yes, it was in the beginning of the project. Yes.
And what you show, the table was 25% or 90%?
Yes, from the total. It was not a statistical, it was Excel we processed. We processed the data, the answers with the Excel, and that's why it was not a mathematical with statistics.
Okay, but that was from the 111 answers, yeah?
Yeah.
Okay. And the most answers came from people under 25 and from women.
Yes. Always when you talk with sustainability, women sample it's bigger.
Young. They are now this Friday for
future. It was curious. Yes, this issue for us was curious also.
Did you plan to make it further studies some distinction between young generation and older generation, women and men?
It is one of my interesting research desire to establish a nice methodology, because considering the Erasmus framework about the training needs, there's a position about the training needs. I don't know, it's not accepted, it's not longer finance. You should do the training needs assessment as an argument, the research, because we have a sample of, I don't know, 25 something. That was our argument that this kind of program is needed on the market. But then we do extend the sample in all countries with the support of all partners in order to demonstrate and to focus our skill card definition, so the structure of the training program.
Okay.
But the methodology of the training need is usually very tricky. How you do the questionnaire, that is, yes.
Yeah.
What do you want? Yeah. It's a desire for me also, yes.
Any other question?